Have you ever wondered what truly happens to your body after the age of 80? It's a stage of life that many people think about, but very few openly talk about. Some people approach it with fear. Others avoid the thought altogether. But here's the truth. Aging after 80 is not something to run from. It's something to understand. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you stop living in fear of decline, and you start living with confidence, dignity, and joy. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel, Insightful Elders. Life after 80 doesn't mean the end of activity or purpose. In fact, many people discover a deeper sense of meaning, peace, and even freedom in these years. But yes, the body does change, and knowing those changes ahead of time allows you to prepare, adapt, and keep living life fully. In this video, we'll walk through 5 major changes that almost everyone experiences after 80. Some of these shifts may sound challenging, but each one comes with powerful ways to adapt and thrive. And by the end, you'll see that aging is not just about the body slowing down. It's about entering a new season of wisdom, strength, and resilience. So stay with me until the very end, because the final thoughts might just change how you see aging forever. Let's begin. Number 1. Sleep patterns begin to shift. One of the first big surprises after 80 is the way sleep changes. What used to be a full, restful night of 7 or 8 hours may start to feel lighter, broken, or shorter. Many older adults find themselves falling asleep earlier in the evening and waking up earlier in the morning, sometimes long before the sun comes up. It's not unusual to wake up several times during the night to feel drowsy during the day. Why? Because as we age, the body produces less melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Our natural circadian rhythm, the internal body clock, also shifts, making sleep lighter and easier to disturb. This can feel frustrating. But here's the encouraging news. You can still get enough rest by adapting your habits. For example, one 82-year-old woman I know used to struggle with waking up at 3 a.m. Instead of fighting it, she began creating a calming bedtime routine. Dim lights, no TV, a warm cup of herbal tea, and a gentle book. She stopped worrying about sleeping 8 hours straight and instead gave her body what it needed. Today, she feels rested even with shorter but higher quality sleep. Simple steps like avoiding screens before bed, keeping the room cool and dark, staying active during the day, and taking short evening walks can all improve sleep quality. Remember, sleep at this stage is not just about energy. It's about memory, mood, and even physical health. Good sleep sharpens the mind, lifts the spirit, and strengthens the immune system. So if you or someone you love is over 80, treat sleep not as a problem, but as a puzzle. With the right adjustments, you can still wake up refreshed and ready for the day. If you're still with me at this point, comment, rest well below. I'd love to see who's watching closely. Number 2. Bones become more fragile, but still strengthenable. The second major change after 80 happens to our bones. Over the years, bones naturally lose density and strength, making them thinner and more fragile. This is why the risk of fractures or breaks increases with age, even from something as small as a stumble or a bump. Posture may also change. Many older adults notice they don't stand as tall as before, or that their back begins to curve slightly. This often happens because the spine's vertebrae compress as bone density declines. But here's something empowering. You still have influence over your bones, even after 80. Calcium and vitamin D from food or supplements play a vital role. Gentle, weight-bearing activities like short walks, light gardening, or even carrying small hand weights while watching TV help bones stay strong. One 84-year-old woman I knew used to sit in her living room and lift tiny hand weights during her favorite TV shows. That simple habit gave her bones the stimulation they needed to remain strong. The message is simple. Yes, bones become more fragile with age, but you can still protect them. Every small effort reduces the risk of injury and keeps independence alive. So don't think of this as weakness. Think of it as a reminder to partner with your body. By making consistent, mindful choices, you give your bones the best chance to serve you well into your later years. If you're finding these insights helpful, type the number 2 in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. Number 3. Digestion slows and appetite shifts. Now let's talk about digestion. After 80, Many people notice that foods they once enjoyed don't sit the same way anymore. Heavy meals may cause bloating or discomfort. The stomach produces less acid, and the muscles that move food through the digestive tract slow down. The result? Food doesn't break down as easily, and nutrients aren't absorbed as well. In fact, vitamin B12, essential for brain health, becomes harder to absorb at this age. Appetite may also change. Some people lose interest in big meals, while others crave lighter foods. An 83-year-old man once told me, "I used to love steak dinners, but now I'd rather have oatmeal and fruit. It just feels better." So what's the solution? Choose foods that are easier to digest, like soups, cooked vegetables, oatmeal, and fish. Eat smaller, more frequent meals instead of heavy dinners. Stay hydrated, because the body's natural thirst signal weakens with age. And don't forget, eating isn't just about nutrients. It's about joy, connection, and togetherness. Seniors who share meals with friends or family often feel more energized, not just physically, but emotionally. Digestion may slow, but with mindful choices, you can continue to enjoy food as one of life's greatest pleasures. Number 4. Joints become stiffer, but adaptation brings freedom. By the time someone reaches 80, the joints and cartilage that cushion them have endured decades of use. It's no surprise that stiffness, discomfort, and reduced flexibility begin to appear. Tasks like climbing stairs, bending down, or even carrying groceries may feel more difficult. Yet here's the good news: stiffness doesn't have to mean giving up the activities you love. Take the example of a woman in her mid-80s who loved gardening. Kneeling for hours became painful, but instead of quitting, she invested in raised planters and a small seat. Today, she still enjoys gardening, just in a way that supports her body. Gentle exercise like walking, tai chi, or swimming keeps joints flexible. Stretching also eases stiffness and protects mobility. Supplements or doctor-approved treatments can further support joint comfort. Here's the mindset shift. After 80, the goal isn't to move like you did at 40, it's to move wisely. Adaptation becomes the key to freedom. When you adjust, you prove that age doesn't have to limit joy. If you're still watching and finding this valuable, comment "Stay strong" below. Number 5. The mind and memory shift, but growth continues. Finally, let's talk about one of the most important areas, the brain. Yes, memory can become less sharp after 80. Names may slip, multitasking may feel harder, and mental processing may slow down. But this does not mean the mind stops growing. In fact, research shows that older adults often excel in wisdom, decision-making, and emotional intelligence. You may not memorize phone numbers as quickly, but you gain a deeper ability to see life with perspective. Keeping the brain active is crucial. Reading, learning new skills, playing word games, or simply having meaningful conversations all keep the mind sharp. Physical activity also boosts blood flow to the brain, supporting memory and mood. One 90-year-old man once told me, "I may not move as fast as I used to, but my mind is deeper now. I see connections in life that I never noticed before." That is the hidden gift of aging, wisdom. Finally, reaching 80 is not the end. It's a milestone of resilience. Yes, the body changes. Sleep patterns shift. Bones lose density. Digestion slows. Joints stiffen. Memory works differently. But through all of this, the body continues to adapt. And so does the spirit. The key is not to fear these changes, but to embrace them with patience, care, and wisdom. Nourish your body with good food. Move gently, but consistently. Stay mentally active. And most importantly, treasure the moments that make life meaningful. Because aging is not about chasing youth. It's about discovering a deeper kind of strength, one rooted in acceptance, gratitude, and love. So if you're over 80, or if you love someone who is, remember this: the later years are not a time of decline. They are a time of growth, purpose, and grace. Thank you for joining me today. Please share in the comments one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps us continue creating content that supports and inspires you. Stay strong, stay wise, and embrace the gift of life at every age.